Hey everybody, my name is Amy. Welcome back to my channel. This is a channel about mostly cross stitch. I do a lot of other things, but I mostly cross stitch. I originally started this channel as a diamond painting channel, and I still diamond paint, just not nearly as often as I cross stitch. I love the portability of cross stitch, and I've kind of just stuck with it since. So here I am with that. I am working on Travel by Tardis. I was working on this in the last video as well, and I am slowly chugging along here. I really love full coverage patterns, and I really wanted to do something. This is a new start. You guys watched me start it a couple of videos back, so here I am doing it again. I think, hold on, I'm going to zoom you guys, I'm not zooming, I'm going to move you out a little bit and then zoom you in because you are too, why did you go dark when I zoomed you in? A little bit too close that I can't see my pattern. Okay. This is a little bit different setup than I had yesterday because I had you guys a little bit higher up, but I feel like this is going to be okay. Okay, so Travel by Tardis. I don't think I can show you what it looks like because I have you a little zoomed in. This is what it looks like. This is by Country Magic Stitch on Etsy. It looks like they have their own website, but I just get it on Etsy. And I am in this top corner right now stitching the moon. I feel like once the moon is done, these diagonals are going to start moving a lot faster because it's a lot of color blocking. And where the moon is kind of in the way right now. So yesterday I was trying to finish this current block that I am on, and I am starting the next diagonal, which is this one, and then it's going to come over into this block, this block, this block, and then this block down here. I don't think I'm going to get that far right now because I've only got about a good 30 minutes. Again, my kids are skating, and I'm planning on participating. I just really want to wait for my laundry to finish this time. The skate session today is from 7 to 10. So I'm hoping to go for the 7 o'clock, well, no, at 8 and do the last 2 hours because I really just can't hang for 3 hours. I get too tired. Whoa. And, yeah. So let's see. Right now I'm working on the moon. This is part of the outer part of the moon that I'm doing right here. So this here I'll show you is this dark part right here. I've just started this part here at the top, and so I'm going to come out a little bit as much as in this stitch, and then I'm going to park it. What marker was I using? Was I using this sharp? No, I was using this highlighter yesterday. We talked about that in yesterday's, was it yesterday? Yesterday's video, yes. I recorded it yesterday. I uploaded it last night, and lately, I don't know what has been happening, but I've noticed that my videos have not been up. Whoa, I keep getting it stuck in this needle minder. I have this needle minder up here to hold the freaking paper on. I noticed that my videos, the first upload is not uploading. Like, I've been having to delete the upload and restart it. I don't know what the problem is. I've been having so many issues with data and like cell phone reception and whatnot. Now, granted, I only upload on Wi-Fi because that's the quickest way, but even then my Wi-Fi has just been significantly slowing down with my videos. So my phone ended up dying last night and didn't finish the upload. So when I turned my phone on this morning, it immediately shot into an update, and I couldn't finish uploading the video. So then when I finally checked YouTube, it still had an hour and 49 minutes left. So I waited for 10 minutes just to see if it was going to move. It hadn't changed from an hour and 49 minutes. So I deleted it this morning and I restarted the upload, and it was up like within 10 minutes. It was already up. And then I needed to wait like another 10 minutes for the ads to place themselves. I don't know what the situation is with that whole thing. Okay, so I am going to park this guy in that one there. And I did not find that needle yesterday. If you watched yesterday's stitch with me, you'll know that I misplaced a needle. No idea where it's at. Why didn't misplace it? I felt it falling down my leg and it touched my foot and it is MIA. Literally cannot find it to save my life. Okay. Oh, blue. There's so much blue in this. I kind of want you guys to zoom in again. Somebody's texting me. I don't know who. I feel like that's going to be better for you guys. If I have to move you again, I will. So let's see if we can finish this square, because all that's left in that to finish this diagonal, the new diagonal that I'm starting, is blue. So that blue is 322. These flosses that I have right now are a freaking mess. I told you guys yesterday as well that I had changed the way that I do my floss drops now, and these are all on my old floss drops, unless it was a skein that I didn't have that I just recently purchased. Those I'm working directly from the skein, which I know is like a heathen. I'll show you guys in just a second. Let me thread this needle. But I think I just need to take the time and put these all on proper floss drops. I think I briefly showed you guys that in yesterday's video too. I do have a lot of parked threads here, and I'm relying on my great eyesight, which by the way is not great, to hopefully color match these threads down here so that I like kind of know, because like this blue right here, can you even see me? This blue right here is different than this blue right there. They're very similar. And please don't mind that I have no nails. I've like legit been getting my nails done for like the past year, but I am going to the dermatologist soon for these GIMP fingernails that I have on this hand, and I obviously can't have acrylics on for that, and I normally keep my acrylics on for 3 weeks, and so I didn't want them to be in rough shape. Like, it's not enough time for my dermatologist to look, because I go in about 3 weeks now. So all of that to say that, yeah, let's stitch. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, I need to put these on proper floss drops, because, or at least my style of floss drops that I like, because, my table is a mess. Maybe I'll insert a picture here of what my sewing table looks like. So the way that I stitch currently, my Lowry sits on the side of my, whoops. So in between, I have like my desk is on this side. I sit here in the middle, and then my sewing table is on this side. And so my Lowry is here in the middle with me. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. My Lowry's here in the middle with me. So I keep all the floss either on the left or the right. Normally though, it's on a floss ring and on a floss drop. But because I did not set this project up for success, I am just working all willy-nilly. And yeah, I mean, it's not the worst. I can kind of just grab and go, but it's not organized neither. And I just cleaned my sewing table off because I needed to sew again. Stuck in the freaking needle minder. Because I needed to sew last week. I needed to sew this project. I needed to put extra fabric on here because it was too narrow on the vertical side in order to fit it in my Lowry. You can see here the stitch right there, because it just wasn't, I was just not going to have enough room. So I have about 1 inch on this side, and I should have a little bit more on the other side, maybe 2 inches. You're not in the same spot that you were, but that's okay, because I could see you before. So hopefully this is okay. It is going in and out of focus a little bit when my hand comes in, but I don't know how to stitch without like sticking my whole hand up here. I don't know how people do that. Like, maybe it's just the way that I stitch. One thing that I love about cross stitching though, especially using frames, is that they don't hurt my hands near as much as like crocheting. But I will say this hand, from the pulling motion, the way that I do up here, it does get sore in the middle, like here, and then I can feel it like all the way through to the back. So when I really heavily started getting into crafting, my hands were always on fire, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought I had carpal tunnel, so I went to the doctor. They did a bunch of tests, and he said, well, I think you just have nerve pain. Which the technical term for nerve pain is de Quervain's. And so that's what he said. He says, like, not really treatable. They gave me some wrist guards to wear, at night, basically some wrist braces, and actually those help a ton. But I very rarely wear them just because I dislike wearing them and I forget to wear them. They're not uncomfortable by any means. The pressure actually feels amazing on my wrists. But I just honestly first started forgetting to wear them, especially when I started working full time. I really started forgetting them then. And so, I just manage it. Luckily, my job as a teacher, that kind of helps a little bit, that I don't really add to the pain. So all the pain comes from my crafting, which I can control, by stitching less and whatnot. Stitching in hand hurts a lot. Not necessarily while I'm stitching, but like I'll feel it like the next day or two. Later I can feel it, and it's not enough where like it'll prevent me from stitching in hand. Like I can still do it. It's just really sore, really tender. Ibuprofen helps, but I mean, why do that to yourself at the same time if you can prevent it? And so it's just something I try not to do. If I'm really like desperate to stitch and I'm like in bed or something, I always have a project on my nightstand, usually a stamped piece. I'll pull that out and I'll stitch on that just to kind of like get that itch out of the way. Okay, so now this one, I gotta mark off each row as I go, especially when it's these color blocking chunks, because I could go too far. This helps me from counting less by just crossing off each row. It does take me a tiny bit longer, but I make less mistakes when I do it this way. And so in the long run, I'm saving time, because if I stitch whole blocks correctly, then I don't have to frog anything. So there's that. I'm looking forward to getting a new tablet. I'm waiting until after my daughter's birthday. I'm going to see. So December is really hard for me. December is my older daughter's birthday is, oh no, what did I do? I went too far over. Oh no. Hold on. December is my older daughter's birthday. Something happened down here with this thread. I went 1, 2, you know what? It's because I did something right here. I came up through here and I thought that I went down and I didn't. I must have interfered with this stitch here. Oops. I'm going to see if I can hide it in the next row, because that stitch is going to be blue as well. I'm going to see if I can hide it by going over it and hope for the best. But I took the needle out because I was going to pull it out. So now I got to rethread my needle. But anyway, December is my older daughter's birthday is first. And then my younger daughter's birthday is next, 2 weeks later. And then it's Christmas a couple of days later. So it is really something else. It is a tough holiday for me for sure. And so, on top of everything else, it's just, if their birthdays were spread out a little more, it would be better. Don't ask me how that happened. It just did. There used to be a joke with my ex-husband that he could only make girls in like February, like around Valentine's Day, because he has 3 daughters, so my 2 daughters, and he has an older daughter who was also born in December, and he could only conceive babies in February because, not babies, daughters, because all 3 girls were born in December. It's just crazy that way. I don't like the way that row came out. That row doesn't look as nice to me. On camera, actually, it looks normal, but in person, I don't like the way that it looks. It is what it is. I don't know why I'm getting so many text messages now that I'm filming. Let's see. It has been raining all freaking day here. I wouldn't say all day. We were out this morning, so I was stuck in traffic for a good 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, because the Tour de Tucson, I told my daughter they're having the Tour de Tucson. She's like, Mom, it's fine. And I told her, no, it's not, girl. Like, it is not fine. We're going to be stuck in traffic. She wanted me to pick somebody up. I can't even remember his name. And she has so many friends. And she says, no, it's going to be fine. She says, we'll just get through. And I said, okay. I knew better, but I wanted to prove a point to her. And so we went. And already, not as soon as I left the house, but maybe 5 minutes down the road from our house, we were already stuck in traffic. So then I tried to go a different way. That road's blocked too. So did I say why? So the Tour de Tucson is a bike event, like a pedal bike event that they do. And it's like a fucking big deal. And so a lot of the major roads were stopped completely. And so we figured out, well, if we cut through a couple of neighborhoods, we can make it to where we're going. Got the kids to where they needed to be, which was skating. They've been at the skating rink all day. But the way back, the one major intersection that held us out for a long time, the only major intersection that I needed to cross to make it home, should that have been one more? Yes, that one should have been one more. Don't let me forget to put, you know what I'm going to do so I don't forget? I'm going to put a little dot of blue there that I'm going to cover up with stitching right now. No, that's not where I want to come up at. Did I go fucking down through there? I went down the wrong way. So yeah, the one intersection should have opened at 11, right? I thought, okay, if I take my time getting to that intersection, I should be crossing it at 11:30. No. Went through at 11:30. It was still fucking closed. Googled it again. The news article said, the legit local news said that intersection would be open at 11. It was not. Had to go around twice. 12:45. I was still in traffic. I was freaking irate. Finally got home, 1 o'clock, and I've just been busting ass on household chores since, trying to get things done. My little daughter wanted the tree up, and so I needed to clear out the living room, the front living room, because that was where we kept all of my daughter's volleyball stuff. So I needed to take some of that stuff down, get some of it stored up. We also used it as like kind of a playroom. It's the front living room is owned by the front door, but we don't really use the front door. Like, we mostly use the garage. And then, like, I don't invite people over anyway, so it's not really a big deal. But so yeah, got it all cleaned up, got the kitchen cleaned, had dinner with my little one, and also was doing laundry in between that. And so I'm almost done with laundry. I have one more load that actually just finished right now, which is perfect timing because I'm going to do about another 10 minutes on this video. And then I'll go switch those out and then maybe get ready for skate country. I'm not really into, I want to go, but then I don't. Like, I want to go because the kids love it when I show up, all of her little friends, and some of the parents are like, let's go. And I'm just like, type of situation. But so when we first moved here, I didn't realize that it's still like autofocusing so much. Is there a way to turn off autofocus? I wonder. I used to, I should have I was supposed to go one more down again. And I'm going to forget. So I'll do that. As long as they don't mark off the pattern. There we go. I'll remember at some point. We first moved here. I didn't realize there was a skating rink the first couple of months. So finally, when I realized there was a skating rink, we started going, and the girls weren't really into it. My little one, she's just so scared of everything. My son fell the first time, never wanted to go again. Now he goes, now that he's a lot older, he's got a girlfriend. He's not great at it by any means, but he, very beginner still. But my 13-year-old is damn near a pro now. She can go backwards. She can do all kinds of stuff. And they never wanted to go in the beginning. Well, so my daughter starts going, she starts making all these friends. Sorry, I had to adjust my Q snap. So one thing about the Q snap with the Lowry is that it can kind of slide out if you're not careful. I do want to get that diagonal attachment, so that's another thing that I'm interested in getting. Anyway, she started going. She starts making a ton of friends and meeting new people and all of these things. Well, one of the dads, my daughter ended up like being close with, and he's a decent guy. I thought it was really weird at first, just because, you know, whatever. It's a male. I was really bothered by it at first. I told you, like, look, I'm gonna need to get to know this dad before, like, you know, you start hanging out with like him and his son. And my daughter has girlfriends and boyfriends, and it's not that weird. I was the same as a kid. I had way more guy friends than I did girlfriends. This thread, I just took it out and it has like, see it? I don't know if that's a knot or just like a, I think it's just and then it's like at the end too. I hate to cut it off, but anyway. And so I told him I'm gonna have to go see what this guy's all about. I need to meet him. I need to talk to him. So I went once, skated with him, got to know him a couple of times just to be sure that he was safe. He's okay. There's actually a couple of dads that go quite often with their kids because the dads love skating so much. There it goes again, moving. And so, you know, I kind of said, all right, whatever. Too much. But now, like he's asked me on a date and I don't know how I feel about that. I am seeing someone that's, you know, I've been seeing somebody for a while, but it's been very slow going. Like we don't share anything. We don't live together. He kind of doesn't want to live together yet. And so I will admit that has been really difficult for me. You know, taking it as slow as he's been wanting to take it. And so my daughter, you know, because she doesn't really know the guy because we don't live together and stuff. And so in her mind, she thinks, well, like, if you guys aren't living together, then are you even really together? And I'm like, that's not really how that works. And so, you know, I've already told this guy, like, look, I'm not looking for a date or anything like that. But now I don't like going to, and it's not that I don't like going to skate country. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Feel like I'm giving the wrong impression by going to skate because I feel like he might think I'm there to see him and I'm not. Like, I'm genuinely there because I enjoy skating type of stuff. And so I don't know how I don't know how I feel about it anymore. This one is going to be coming in at a different angle, not because I missed that stitch and had to fix it again with the needle minder. So anyway, that's that whole debacle. And so I've just been limiting the time that I've been going now. You know, because I don't want to give off the wrong impression and I am not interested in dating anybody else right now. I've been invested in this other relationship for 4 years and it's not something that I necessarily want to ruin or anything at this point. So, you know, I feel like 4 years is a long time and you know, it's not something that I'm just going to drop, I guess, if that makes sense. So, but now I feel like I'm giving off the wrong impression by being polite to this other person. Maybe if you guys feel differently, you can let me know and see. I had to start parking in the bottom right corner because of where I'm ending my stitches at. All right, I finished that square. Put a dot there so I can know that I parked it. Okay, so what I've been doing with my pattern is drawing my diagonal. Oh no, I don't want to lose that magnet. Hold up. Okay, I've been drawing my diagonal with a different pen because I get confused on what diagonal I'm working on. And so I come across here, and so like this was my first diagonal, right? And then I did my next diagonal. So I went from that corner all the way to the other corner. The same thing with the other diagonal. I went from that corner all the way to the other corner. Did the same thing with this one because honestly, I'm confusing myself by not marking my diagonals. For some reason, I don't know why. So now I'm going to mark this last diagonal, and I know that this marker is not the marker that's marking off the stitches because it's a different color. And so, all right, mark that diagonal so I know where to go next. That was like half my problem with stitching on the diagonal before was, I was trying not to drop the magnet and I dropped it anyway. Was trying to keep track of the stitches on the diagonal. So I discovered with this chart, if I just mark it in that way, I'm not losing track as easily. So I'm gonna, especially because honestly, I couldn't get this into Pattern Keeper. It was just, my tablet is just too slow. It wasn't downloading the pattern and it was just confusing the bejesus out of me. So I decided not to put it into Pattern Keeper. And then Etsy on the tablet has not been my friend because it's not letting me download patterns, because when you search for the patterns in my downloads, it wants me to type in the order number. I have no fucking idea why. And it only does this on my mobile phone. Even when I put my phone in the browser, not that didn't make sense. Even when I open Etsy on the browser and put it on desktop site, it's still making me type in the order number. But when I do it on desktop, it's not doing that. So I don't know like why it's doing that. I just know that it's pissing me off. Okay. I'm going to do some stitches with this color and then this will probably be it. Oops, I don't think I need to do any editing. Honestly, I don't know how much stitching we're actually getting done with you guys in these videos because it's more getting the damn stitches on. That was why I was stitching with 2 needles, because I was leaving one of the threads on the needles so that I didn't have to switch so often. And you guys could get more stitching in. So, all right. Right here. I gotta go up there to fill in that hole. That should put me back on track to start in the corner that I want to start in right here. I feel like they don't look too bad. You guys know that I don't like, well, I've said it before, maybe you don't know because my views are down, but I don't like stitching with white colors, any light color at all, light greens, whites, any shade of white or tan or brown that's a light color like this, I loathe entirely. I just don't feel like I can get my stitches to lay right. And I think it has something to do with the dye in the other colors. It provides like an extra sheen to the stitches that just makes them glide in the fabric a little bit smoother, in my opinion. I should have 3 stitches here. I do. Okay, come up here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here that I'm going to do. Hopefully you're not blurry. 1. I don't know if I'll finish this color because, again, I want to keep this at 30 minutes. I might just finish this color so that I can not end on a 1, 2, 3, 4. Not end like in the middle of the color because then I have to park it again and I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to finish this section at least. So this is like a modified diagonal because I'm still kind of skipping around, like traveling. Like, see how I have that space right there, I have that space there, and then these guys here. It just works in my brain this way. It's better for me. The stitches still come out just fine, if I do say so myself, and it doesn't like change the integrity of the piece in any way. Again, unless you're doing a competition or something where they judge your back, or if you're one of those people that your personality or your anxiety or whatever it is doesn't allow you to stitch without completing or without making the back damn near look like the front. I honestly don't know how to do that anyway. Especially working full coverage. I could, well, even not full coverage, I don't know how to do it. How do you do that? Is there a video on that tutorial? I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out and see. This thread might be long enough to finish these stitches in this section completely. I know I'm not going the way that I normally go, but It's the way, it's because I'm going down and I'm going from left to right instead of right to left like I normally would be. All right, I'm going to do these 2 stitches, and I don't know. Yeah, it should be enough for me to finish this little section right here. These stitches I am going to finish fully though, because I want to start on the left side and go left to right. Okay, so now, okay, 2, and then I got to come across 4. 1, I am going to finish these stitches though, because the way that I don't know. It's making sense in my brain. I don't know how to explain it. It's just the direction that they're going. As long as my understitch always goes either from top left to bottom right or bottom right to top left. It's always that direction. Even if I don't do like one or the other first, it's always that direction. I know some people don't do that, or it doesn't, whatever, they do opposite, but I think that makes all the difference. I've seen some people do both directions and it looks fine. But for me, again, especially stitching light colors, it absolutely has to be the same direction all the time. And I'm so sorry if you're shaking. Okay. I have 3 more stitches of this color, and if I still have thread, I'm going to end it because I don't want to carry this into the next section because it's a little bit more down here, and I just don't want that extra bulk. So 1, 2, this thread's pretty small anyway. I'll have enough for the last stitch, and enough to end it. 3. So I'll show you guys how I end it. I'm not playing thread chicken with this one either. It's not enough to carry anyway. So my stitch is here. Now I would come up in any of these stitches here, but especially if I found like one had a gap. I don't really feel like any of these have a gap. And so to stick with this one, I'm going to come up through a stitch that I already did, and I'm going to come back underneath through the middle of the stitch, and I'm going to pull it through. Move the stitch around, you can't see it. I'm actually going to come up one more time over here. I'm going to go under the stitches, poke it through, and then I will like push them back over, and you can hardly tell. Sometimes you can, I will say. Sometimes you can see that extra little stitch, but it doesn't raise it up. It doesn't cause a bump or anything of that nature. And there we have it. I do save all of my orts. And I put them in Christmas ornaments with the year on it, and 2025 is almost ready. 2025 is the biggest one, if I'm being honest. This is part of 2025's orts. I have another pile over there on my bed that I'm going to add to it. And I think that's all. I think I have more if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know where those are. I'm not sure. Definitely the most by far. So this video is past 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and end it here so that I don't start running late myself. Oh, I do gotta mark off my stitches or I'm going to confuse myself. Mark these off properly so they don't look parked. Don't color in that guy there so I don't forget him. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.